Part 2 of reviewing Ghost channel, etc.
That's why I took his banner away, man. But I don't really want to make it public. I never did. I just took it away, but he wanted to address it, so I had to. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna have you just go at Muslims just because they are Muslims, right?
Yeah,
Like,
so
I don't
my
care if
stance
you
is
have to
like,
go at groomers, right? You can go at groomers, you can cuss the shit out of them, do what you want. Yeah, but when you start generalizing like that, I'll always speak up, and I've done that. I've been consistent in that, right? I'm not gonna have that you're gonna go around saying that the extremist Muslims are the real Muslims, right? And us lot who are against extremism.
It's not really a thing if you're not going to have, in all fairness, you have no control whatsoever. You cannot have it on your channel, which I've respected. But as to whether I'm going to go around doing whatever, you haven't got any control over that. That's of my free will, of my free volition.
Against supremacy, against anybody being targeted because of their faith, are wrong, right?
Yeah, no, that's
even though
exactly
we're
the
the majority of Muslims worldwide are moderate Muslims.
Yeah, but the thing is, he has said it clearly that those on the extreme element, like Anjan Chowdhury and them scumbags, right? How many times do I have to call them out? How many times do I have to diss them, right?
Exactly. But he thinks they're the real.
Calling it out while live with a random title is not exactly calling it out, is it? Now, let's say that you did a title and it actually says on the title what it is that you're going to be doing that day, and then calling them out, then that'd be different. But you don't do that. I mean, just calling it out for a 1 minute soundbite or whatever, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to count that. I'm not going to count that. And again, do you know what I mean? I'm happy that that's the way you feel, if that is genuinely the way you feel. But if you was passionate about it or whatever, you would actually do a stream calling out all these wrong-uns, Ali Dawah and all these other fucking creepy cunts. So yeah, I'm going to put a couple of videos out to accompany all of this or whatever. And yeah, it'd be nice to see you actually call certain things out, critique certain things, call actual people out, whatever. But it's one of them, innit? We have to end up back where the facts are. Where are they getting the shit from to believe such shit in the first place? Now, my claim is that it comes from your book. My claim is that it comes from your scriptures, which people like yourself, Ghost, have stated that you hold more dearly in your heart than your own family. Now, like I've said, I think that's proper sad. You know what I mean? All day after you said it, I was like, that's proper sad, that. I can't actually believe that somebody in 2025 will literally hold a book, a fucking old book, which I say is a war manual, because I've read it and I understand it, etc. But like anything, we can't go near. We can't ask the relevant questions. Have you actually read it, Ghost? We can't ask that, can we? We can't go over the 109 verses or whatever, which are very problematic, which are bringing a rape epidemic and terrorism to our people of this country. Now, when somebody won't address it, then you leave the door open for people to draw their own conclusions, and that's what people have done. That's certainly what I have done. And you can't blame me for doing that at the end of the day. You know what I mean? If you was asking me certain things or whatever, and I go, oh, you know, I don't want to talk about that, you will draw your own conclusions. So I'm not being unreasonable. Do you know what I mean? If the topic was anything else other than Islam, you would see what I'm saying and think, yeah, actually, to be fair, he's right, or whatever. It is reasonable, or whatever. Now, because it's Islam, you literally can't even question that. And I get it, do you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to be offensive or whatever, but you could only compare it to a cult. It would only class itself by what's being said both sides or whatever, and the things that can't be addressed and can't be questioned and this, that and the other. You could only look at it and think, well, it's a cult, isn't it? You know, pretty obvious to everyone, other than people which hold that ideology above their family and whatever. So anybody else that doesn't do that, they're going to see it my way, not your way.
They're the real ones. He thinks
Yeah,
that that's how everyone else is gonna
he
be.
aligns with their belief more than us.
Yeah.
So he's the extremist, not us.
That is a long reach there, Ghost. And Triller. Now, Triller, you're a bit of a disingenuous flip-flop, aren't you, realistically? It's no wonder, realistically, that your own people don't claim you. You flip-flop from one thing to another, and you've had your ideology attacked. You've had people from the community that you're now sat in threatening to go to your Gurdwara and all sorts of shit and whatever. So, yeah. I'd quite happily have a conversation with Triller and we can go over a lot of the things. Now, one thing I will mention is the first time myself and Triller had a one-to-one discussion is because Triller decided that I was far right and racist and all this shit and whatever, and then we've had many conversations since on his panel, on his channel. Now, Triller likes to say now that, oh, it was just method acting, it was just doing this and doing that. Well, when we play them back then, when we review these things or whatever, which is obviously going to happen, maybe you can point out what was genuine and what was method acting, because I'm very good at judging when people are being real and when people are being fake. And I think a lot of the stuff he was coming out with at the time, Triller, I think was genuine, to be fair. I think your arse has just fell out and you've gone crawling back. Now, to me, that is the mark of a pussy. And a lot of people do call you a pussy online, don't they, Triller? I know you do the hard man routine. Oh, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll fuck you up, I'll do this, I'll chop your head off. But then you never follow through. You've never met anyone realistically, have you? So, yeah, I think that, to be honest, is more the method acting, if I'm honest, Triller. But yeah, it's a bit of a mad one. I mean, I can be respectful to people. I can have an open, honest conversation with people and come at it with a reasonable amount of respect or whatever. But we have to stick to the truth, do you know what I mean? The moment you wander away from the truth, realistically, it's not exactly great, is it? Do you know what I mean?
Not us. Because you believe the extremist over us.
And
Well, that's kind of how it works, Ghost. Who founded Islam? We're not going to judge off the people that founded it, the people that laid down the letter of the law, the people that fucking told Muslims what they can and can't do. Because that will be the logical place to start. Not people that are like fucking thousands of miles away from where it originated, sat in the UK, listening to music. Haram. There's a lot of things that you do which your ideology just doesn't allow. So without even trying to be offensive, you're not real Muslims. You can think you are, you can say you are, but you're not. Now, I don't even know how you will take that. I know you'll be offended. Not that I'm trying to offend you, but I know you'll be offended. But if it's the truth, do you know what I mean? That's what the facts and the evidence say. Not me. My opinion is just my opinion. But when I'm basing my opinion off the facts and evidence from your ideology, from your scriptures, then it would possibly be a good idea to kind of remember that. Now, I'll always prove what I'm saying to be the case. So, like I say, I'm going to put a few videos out. You can all piss and moan if you like and cry off to report anything you want in any way, shape or form you want. It won't bother me. This is YouTube. These channels are free. It's neither here nor there. The police do fuck all. The police know I'm factually correct. So, yeah.
And he does claim to, like, he said he wants to go through verse and scripture. He claims to be some sort of, like, you know, like a David Wood kind of guy. And I even told him, bro, I said, listen, you're on the wrong side
Yeah,
of
he
YouTube.
couldn't
Like,
navigate through a Harry Potter book,
you could be
right?
talking to, like, the you know, the ones who know about the religion.
Yeah, how many
Not your
mosques has he
everyday
been?
Muslim, like.
And he's still
You know what
not
I mean?
been able to realize that, oh, what Muslims.
You do realise there's plenty of Muslims which know about Muslims and know about Islam very well, much more than all of you sat on that panel now. People like Mufassal Islam, yeah, who was a very, very well respected imam which travelled all over the world to preach and teach Islam all over the fucking world, and the only reason he's not well respected now is because he's called certain elements of it out. Are we seeing a pattern there? Now, unless any of you fucking panelists or whatever are going to tell me that you know far more than Mufassal Islam, then yeah, we're obviously not going to agree on a few things along the way. Now, like I say, I have my facts in order. You're running on fucking feelings and thoughts, and they're not really worth a wank, if I'm honest. You need to be factually correct, or you're just literally waffling shit.
That, oh, what Muslims, right? Everybody's got their own opinion. Every mosque has their own school of thought, right?
Interpretation.
And Becca, she actually knows a few things about her belief, innit, yeah? Like, you know, from her, you know what I mean, side of it.
Yeah, everybody that joins anything knows a few things. It's not enough to know a few things though, is it?
Yeah, I forget what.
And then when you literally cannot condemn a fucking 50-odd-year-old man having sex with a child, marrying a fucking 6-year-old. Okay, yeah, it weren't consummated till 9 years old. Is that okay with you lot? Is it? That's a bit weird, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
You ain't gonna come
Like,
back
and her
to something
school of
without learning
thought,
about it.
right? Yeah, so she's talked about her school of thought and everything openly, right? And how different it is, you get me, from like from other people, yeah? And like
Right, so when you are putting your thoughts out and your school of thought, blah blah blah, this, that and the other, and you're putting it on a public forum, does that not mean that you can be questioned? See, I could say anything I want now and you'll all quite happily question what I'm saying, won't you? Oh, but we've got to treat them different because they're Muslims. Get to fuck.
He's still like, nah, nah, that's not the right. You're chatting shit.
Yeah, no, but the way I see it, Triller, if you really want community cohesion, right, and you really want to stop extremism,
Yeah, but not built on lies and deception, Ghost. The truth sets everybody free. Now, without the lies, realistically, Islam dies, doesn't it? So, I get why you don't want the truth. It's just a little bit weird when you sat in the UK and you're trying to make out one thing when it's just not factually correct. Sorry, but it is what it is. I don't pretend for anybody. I don't bend for anybody. I will be respectful, and if you say, oh, I don't want this talking about on the channel or that, okay, that's fine, that's your prerogative. But you can't go, oh, well, you can't question anything else anywhere else on other people's channels. Who the fuck do you actually think you are? You're mad.
extremism. The last thing you should be telling moderate Muslims that you're wrong and the extremists are right. That's their belief. They're right.
Yeah.
So
No.
extremists.
A belief doesn't make you right. That just makes it your belief. The facts and evidence determine whether you are right. Now, if I'm very aware of the facts and the evidence and I know that your belief is bullshit, then I've got the right to be able to say, actually, I'm happy that you think that way, but factually, with the evidence, you're incorrect, you're wrong, and the real Muslims will tell you, clear as day, you're not a real Muslim. You're a fucking hypocrite, and at that point, go and check, go and do your research as to what happens to hypocrites.
He supports the extremist ideology, not us.
I would say to Jen, you should carry on, like, you know what I mean, exposing, you get me, what we believe to be, you know what I mean, maybe extreme or wrong or whatever, right? Because I've seen some videos, you get me, and I called it out the other day. I was like, yeah, I saw a video, and, you know, this was wrong. I saw, like, doctors.
You've called quite a lot out, Triller. But like I say, we'll go over what was method acting and what's your real thoughts and feelings, won't we?
In India, apparently 3 or 4 of them, like, killed 13 people. I said, that's wrong. Fucking hell. We talked about that. I talked about that with you.
It's mad, it only seems to affect Triller, and he only seems to have an opinion on it when it affects his own fucking people. Now, I've not been that selfish. We've got 200 types of people living in the UK, and it affects every single type of people that we've got here. Yeah? It doesn't have to just affect white people for me to go, oh, you know, this is fucked up or whatever. When the Manchester Arena bomb went off, realistically, do you just think it was all white people that was there, do you? Now, people can go away, do the research or whatever. Was I the only person that turned up at Disbury Mosque pissed off? Was I? Was there not any black people? No? Maybe go and have a little research or whatever. Manchester's very multicultural and it affected fucking everybody. And if you think anyone's going to forgive and forget, you've got another thing coming.
Well, with you as well. And, you know what I mean? Like, how hard it's making it for, like, the rest of the community. They're going to be, you know what I mean, under pressure, thinking they might get attacked now. You know what I mean? Or there might be some repercussions. Because...
Well, it's one of them, isn't it? So let's say it was a gang, because it more or less puts itself out as a gang, as a war manual, etc. So, like any gang, you've got more people that are more involved, people that do the deepest fucking shit or whatever, and then you've got people that are just around it because they want to be part of a gang and this, that and the other. Now, if one gang turns on another gang or whatever, do you think they're going to go, oh, well, you know, this one weren't doing this and that, and this one was quite nice and quite pleasant? And nah, it don't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So if there is any repercussions, then realistically, who else would it fall on other than the people which are talking shit, coming out with nothing but thoughts and feelings, wish to avoid the facts and the evidence, wish to avoid the 109 verses which cause nothing but division and put one group over another, racial hate to the point where people are being killed, being murdered, and children are being raped. It is mad, the thought processes that go on with some of these people or whatever. And again, it seems to be always people that are part of some sort of cult. Every religion, every fucking ideology, as I would call it, because that's what it is. For me, you are all part of the problem. It can be on a minor scale, it can be on a major scale, but you are all part of the problem. The people that are running around saying, oh, that's not the true Islam, they're not real Muslims, you are part of the fucking problem. Because unless people are able to determine for themselves with the facts and the evidence, what is a true Muslim? Is Muhammad actually what it makes out to be, that is the code of conduct, the man to emulate? Because if it is, you would have no reason to be shocked when you've got rape epidemics going on left, right and centre, and you've got terrorism going on and ramping up. You wouldn't be shocked. This is the delusions that go on in your head. It's very methodical thinking and very fucking justified way of thinking. Well, this is the man that they all want to copy, emulate, fucking live their life as close as he did. You can't expect not to have fucking problems come off the back of that. That's just dumb. It is proper dumb cult life mentality way of thinking. Sorry, but it's true. You can like it, you can lump it. I couldn't give two fucks. I don't need to be part of any little channel, don't need to be part of any little community, I don't need friends online or whatever. Do you know what I mean? For me, everybody could absolutely hate every single thing I've got to say, and I'm still going to say it regardless, because it's the truth.
There might be some repercussions. Because again, who are these people actually hurting? They're hurting the good Muslims. They're just hurting innocent people.
No. Hurting decent people which have decided that they're going to join a gang that they don't fucking understand the rules of, by just letting them stay in the dark and believe the bullshit. That's hurting them. By telling them the truth and giving them actually, here's the facts, here's the evidence, make up your own mind based on the facts and the evidence, that's actually helping them. So you've got that upside down, Triller.
They're just hurting innocent people that just have the label. You know what I mean? It's mad.
Yeah, but this is what I'm trying to tell him, right? But he's clearly, and he obviously believes this, that what the extremists think is the right Islam, right?
Yeah, because that's factually correct, Ghost.
Anybody else like Becca or me or anybody else thinks is the wrong one, and we're doing taqiyya or we're bullshitting or whatever.
But you know what it is, those guys?
But the extremist is right. This is my issue with it.
Well, what I found after going to over 100 mosques and speaking to many fucking people outside of that, regardless, the one thing that's very obvious is somebody like myself seems to know a hell of a lot more about the ideology which they follow. Now, I've got no business knowing about this ideology, so what brought me to actually looking into this ideology realistically? The mass rape, the fucking rape epidemic up and down the country, and terrorism. Now, that's the same thing which has brought many other people to the same fucking conclusion or whatever. Now, you can put as many people that don't know fuck all forward, and unless they can fucking come with facts and evidence, you're just literally adding to the problem. So, yeah, you cause your own problems. It's mad.
This is my issue with
But
him.
here's the thing. Imagine we was to say Zionism is a representative of Judaism and all Jews
Right.
are Zionists, then we would be
Right.
anti-Semites. But they could say it and
Yeah.
get away with it, but we couldn't say
Exactly. Well, my
Right.
stance on
Are the Jews committing acts of terrorism in the UK? Are the Jews causing a rape epidemic up and down the UK? I don't think so.
always
Good
been
example.
there's
Fahd.
And
more.
while we're on that, is a Zionist not exactly the same as an Islamist? Is it not? See, to anybody outside of a cult, it seems to be exactly the same.
There's more Zionists that are not Jewish than Jewish, right? That's been my stance.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I'm pretty sure I've seen a statistic somewhere. I think it was around 90% are. So when you're saying, oh, it's just the Zionists or whatever, you know what I mean? It's no different than me saying, oh, it's just the Islamists. Now, what's the difference realistically?
Because if you look at across the West, there's more Zionists that are not Jewish, right? So,
Yeah.
but Dan has clearly had this issue, and that's what pissed me off, and I took the spanner away from him. Like, then I can still have a conversation with him. If you want to click the link, come on. But
Yeah.
the thing is,
Well,
I'm not
he
going to
did
have
say he
you.
wanted to talk to me as well. So, like,
Yeah,
you
I'm
know,
not going to have
now's the
you
time, bro.
trying to justify.
Now, what would be the point in me jumping on the link to discuss something which people are too either scared or embarrassed, or I don't know what the reasoning is, to be honest. Why can we not discuss the fucking scriptures in your book? Why can we not discuss Muhammad? Has anybody even bothered reading the life of Muhammad? All the Islamists, all the Muslims, all the converts, have you actually bothered reading into the man which you all fucking protect over anything and everything? Is he a good moral man? Is he a man to emulate? Fucking mental. Absolutely mental. It would be like the population of fucking the UK thinking, oh well, you know, Jimmy Savile, yeah, you know, he's a great guy. We should all emulate Jimmy Savile or whatever. We should all fucking, you know, we should use him as a code of conduct for all our sons or whatever. That is the same shit that you're coming out with. And then when we laugh at it and go, fucking hell, how can they all be proud of this fucking warlord paedophile? Do you know what I mean? It's just fucked. It's just fucked.
Like saying that what the extremists believe is the right Islam and what us lot believe is the wrong one, right?
Yeah, but that is the case. And you know that's what he...
Well, I don't want to drag up another argument with Becca or whatever. I'm quite happy to have one if so be. You know, so be it. It is what it is. But Becca come out with some shit the other night saying, like, as if there was more than one Islam. I understand that there are different sects of Islam, but there is only one Islam. The problem is you can't fool us with the bullshit which you've been fed. You've been spoon-fed shit to the point where you've opted into this mentally ill fucking death cult or whatever. And it seems to have took all the reasoning out of the person or whatever. They're no longer able to question the situation. Now, me being not part of any cult or whatever, I'm in a very good position to be able to critique any of these fucking things that are going on. Now, if it was Buddhists or fucking Christians or anything else that was causing all the problems, all the terrorism, all the rape epidemic, then I would be, you know what I mean? I'd be there, wouldn't I? I would be at their places of worship instead of at mosques. But the fact of the matter is, there's only one group out of the 200 groups of people that we've got here that are causing all this shit. And unfortunately, that is the part of the 200 types of people that you're part of. That's not my problem. That's a you problem.
And you know that's what he believes in. Like,
Yeah, no, he said it clearly that day. He said that
Yeah.
they would probably say that you're not Muslim, but we would say
Right.
the same to them.
I have said very clearly, this is what I mean. I've not pretended anything. I've not bent for anybody. Do you know what I mean? I've stuck to what I've said. I've just been more respectful the way I've said it and where I've said it and whatever. That's about it. That is about it.
So,
Right.
like, who are you
Exactly.
going to believe?
Exactly. And you've been saying it for years. You've been condemning ISIS and
I've been
Ajam
always said
Chowdhury
the Anjan
and all these
Chowdhury is just
people
about
for
the
years.
Tommy Robinson, right?
You know what I mean?
Think about it this way, yeah? Because I believe that you believe if you carry on doing things the way you've done it, that you think you're going to go to heaven, you're going to get your 72 virgins and all this other mad shit or whatever. But if I'm right, where are you actually going? Are you not going to hellfire? Where the hypocrites go? Yeah?
And I've always called him out, and people have hated me, but I don't give a shit. This is what I believe. I don't believe that a Muslim is better than a non-Muslim. I think all human beings are equal.
Is that what your book says though, Ghost? I'm happy that that's what you believe, but is that what your book says? Is that what your book fucking instructs its followers to act like or whatever? I don't think so. In fact, I know so because I've got my facts in order.
And I'm never allowed that. This is why people get pissed off with me.
Yeah, I think he was born into the wrong ideology then, Ghost. Maybe he should have been a Christian, because in Christianity, yeah, everybody's equal. In Islam, not so much.
Because I don't allow that on my channel, but then I'm not going to allow you to do that shit either.
Yeah. The thing,
Yeah, I've not actually done that on your panel, on your channel, Ghost, so yeah, say whatever you want. It's not an issue to me. Like I said, do you know what I mean? It's neither here nor there. None of these things that go on are going to make or break my day, realistically. I'm sticking to what I'm saying because I know I am factually correct. I've been proven to be factually correct in front of the fucking every arm and leg of the police or whatever that the fucking wankers have got to throw at you. I've disarmed them all and sent them off the fucking, sent them on the way with the tail between the legs. I've done that because I'm factually correct.
the thing is, like, then if people like I don't know, Becca and that was so bad, or Ghost or Khan or whatever, they wouldn't even be talking to us, bro. You understand? Like, really and truly,
we would have our own
like, they
community,
wouldn't
we
even
do
be
our own
talking
thing.
to us. You get me? Like, people that are not from the faith. You get me? And so on. You know, if they were that extreme and you know, the way you're presenting Islam.
Where have I said that Becca's extreme? Triller, you're coming out with mad shit, but unfortunately I've not said this mad shit ever. So I don't know, do you want to do a retraction video maybe? We'll have a chat about it if we're up for this discussion, Triller.
To be, they wouldn't literally have these kind of panels, this kind of discourse.
Triller, he's even had a go that not many Muslims.
Ghost has had, but what's like a Ghost has had people that have criticized Islam, right? And generally speaking, like, people would, you know what I mean, mock Ghost. You know, other Muslims would mock Ghost for that. You know what I mean? That why are you having these people on? Why are you talking to these people? Why are you befriending
look
these
at
people?
it,
Yeah, the extremists that Ghost has had on there for 5 years. Yeah, people like Halima and all that, Bird's Nest, Ratfest, whatever the fuck. That's extremists that have literally, yeah. Like it or not, that is the way that you're actually supposed to be. Now, this is the unfortunate thing when I know more about your ideology than you do. Now, you can choose not to listen to Halima, you can choose not to listen to me. But that's all you've got to ask yourself, realistically. Where are you going when you die? Is it where you think it is?
If you look at it, right,
some people that are not sure about it or whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I can click notifications on mine now,
and I'm not
and
asking.
I've got Muslims.
I'm not getting
absolutely good.
I'm not asking anybody to follow the letter of your fucking ideology to the letter and become terrorists or anything like that. What I would advise, and I have advised for a long fucking period of time or whatever, is you might want to come away from this ideology. You might want to come away from this cult, because people are very fast catching up as to what every fucking thing means, and eventually people are going to see it as a lot of people see it now. So when they see people like Becca walking about in a burqa or whatever, they're going to look at it like you would do if you're seeing somebody marching down the road with a fucking Nazi uniform on. The two ideologies are literally the same. 67% of them two ideologies are pretty much identical. Yeah? So my advice would be to any Muslim, come away from that ideology. It will do you no good. It will do your children no good. It will do your future generations no good. And if you want it, and you want to fucking be a Muslim and this, that and the other, then fuck off to a Muslim country and do it there. Yeah? Because carry on with this same fucking shit that's going on, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse by the fucking day, and we're all going to end up in a predicament, aren't we? Now, people can take it however they want to take it. I will give zero fucks regardless.
Absolutely going at me, right?
Oh.
And I can click it right now and show the people, right? This is what it is, and they're swearing at my mum, and they're going at my family. But I decide not to entertain that, right? Not to promote that. But they're doing that, and they're tagging me in the videos, right? So I can see that. But I choose not to entertain it. Second thing is,
this is a mad situation. So you've literally got Ghost now admitting you literally can't see it. It's fucked. This is the thing, when you're in a cult, you can't see what's literally in plain sight and written on the fucking wall for everybody else who's not in the cult to be fucking very aware of or whatever. So you've got people that understand the ideology far more than you by the sounds of it, Ghost, calling you out for not fucking keeping to your own community and shunning people like myself or Trillo or Babs or fucking Becca pre-fucking Muslim or whatever. You wouldn't have been able to talk to any of these people, would you? You would have had to shun them because they're not as good as you, are they? Muslims are the best of peoples, remember? Or do you actually know? I know, but do you know?
second thing is, like, Dan needs to realize, Dan has been saying, oh, not even Muslims follow him, so they don't care. But I don't want Muslims to follow me.
Realistically, who are the real Muslims which follow you, Ghost? Who are the real Muslims? Shaheed? I don't think so. Wisdom? Nice enough lad and that. If you remember, it was me that was telling you to check that he's alright, and that he sounded really down because I think it was his gran that died or whatever, and you weren't even fucking aware of it. And you didn't even really pursue that and check it, you know. These are the people from your community. Now, when I'm actually giving a shit more about the people in your community than you do, then that should really say something, I would have thought. But all the people that are non-Muslim, by your book, you're not supposed to be fucking with. You're not supposed to be mixing with. You're not supposed to be friends with. And if you are friends with them, it's only so you can gain something, bigger foothold on, you know, something to do with Islam or whatever. You can fool people. You can do all this fucking fuckeries or whatever. But in your heart, no, you've got to hate them. Now, these things are just facts. These things are just facts. Now, I guarantee it'll be pissing people off or whatever. Like I say, I've not actually got a problem with the people that will be pissed off or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I'm literally trying to educate them on what their gang's actually about and all the things that you think you're aiming for, and you're going to get to your fucking destination of heaven, this, that and the other and whatever. It's not based on real, true life facts and evidence, is it? So are you not wasting your time? Like I've said, come away from the fucking ideologies. They are no good for you.
Follow me. If I wanted the Muslims to follow me, I would have created a Muslim-centered channel. But I haven't.
Yep.
I've created a channel that I've said again and again, I
don't think Ghost realises, I mean, obviously the people giving him death threats and his family death threats by the sounds of it and whatever, they realise it, but it's like Ghost doesn't realise a hypocrite is actually much. You'll be at the front of the queue to get your head chopped off, whereas I'll be at the back because I've just stuck to the truth, the facts and the evidence. And to be honest, the true Muslims, the extremists, what you would class as extremists, the true Muslims actually respect me for my stance of not pretending something is different than it actually is. I actually get a lot of respect from people that you wouldn't fucking even contemplate or whatever. People that would probably send you death threats. Now, that's all I can say on the matter. Consider learning about your own ideology. Now, I'm going to help you out. I'm actually going to reach out or put the olive branch out or whatever. I'm going to teach you about your own ideology. If you choose to watch, that's up to you. If you choose to ignore it, again, that is up to you. Yeah? But I'm going to do it regardless anyway. I don't need anyone to put a comment. You can all sit there silently and say nothing and whatever. If you're taking in information and then you go away and do a little fact checking of your own in case you think it's some far right conspiracy to put all this whatever, go and do your fact checking, yeah? And if you figure out that I'm right, maybe down the road you might actually think, do you know what, he was actually just telling us the truth. Maybe he was just being genuine. Now, like I say, it won't break or make my day regardless, so whichever way it goes, it is what it is.
said again and again, I don't really want to talk about religion. But because I'm a Muslim, you guys want me to talk about religion, right?
It's all good and well to say that, so I don't know, let's just say it was just a random banter channel or something like Taft's where you play a bit of music and I'll just fuck about, do this, that, the other, whatever. Yeah, that's fine. You know, I'm sure, well, I can only speak for myself, but somebody like myself wouldn't come forward and go, oh, well, you know, what about this and what about that and what... If you're not trying to shit on the people that are actually calling these things out for what they are and educating people and waking people up to the dangers that they're actually in, if you weren't going at Tommy Robinson and anyone else or whatever that are actually trying to wake people up, then why would people come at you? That would make no sense. That's not logical in any fashion. Now, the fact that you're trying to shit all over the people that are trying to wake people up, people are going to draw their own conclusions as to why you don't want to talk about your religion, your ideology, which we can all see with our own eyes and ears, that it's bringing terrorism and it's bringing a fucking rape epidemic of children. Yeah? Now, you've all heard Triller fucking spazzing out over, and I hate saying that fucking word, I'm getting a bit wound up. We've all heard Triller outraged, blah blah blah, because two women, not even girls, two women from his community, his Sikh community, have been raped, and I would say there's definitely a race element to it, a racist element to it or whatever. Yeah, by all means be outraged. We all are. We fucking all are. Anybody that rapes a woman is fucking disgusting and yeah, deserves to die. That's in my opinion. Now, Triller seemed to have been less concerned, less bothered, less outraged when 1 million children have been raped. Now, how that can be, I don't know, because the rape epidemic started with the Sikh community, the Hindus and the Sikhs. And then when that turned to shit and people realised, okay, the police are actually not going to assist anything, they're not going to deal with this problem, we're going to deal with it our fucking selves, like you've justified Triller and like you've justified Ghost. People could and should take matters into their own hands. That's what you've said or whatever. That's what the Sikhs did. And then, only then did they move on to the white girls. And not just the white girls, there's plenty of mixed race girls that have been raped and passed around like a bag of cheap sweets. There's black girls that have been raped and passed around like a bag of cheap sweets. The common denominator is they are not Muslim. Now, I'm even aware of people that have helped victims of, like, I would say grooming gangs, but it's a little bit different or whatever. Yeah, it's like 2 levels of treatment or whatever. But even Muslim girls have been targeted or whatever for one reason or another. Maybe they're not fucking full enough flavour Muslim to be Muslim. Maybe it's the people like the people that you're getting death threats off and all this shit. Maybe they're the type of people that are committing these acts on Muslim girls. Now, it's people like Marius and stuff like that that have helped out with that situation, actually trying to help victims and survivors. And yeah, I've been a supporter of that as well. So people like myself are very grounded and can support, whether it be Tommy Robinson, Sikhs Awareness, Marius, PAG UK, Veterans Against Terrorism. I can support anything and everything. As long as it's got a real thing to it and they're actually trying to make a fucking positive change, then yeah, I'll support it. And I have done for fucking longer than all you people that are on panels now. Twice the time that any of us have been on around a situation. I've been around many situations. I've supported many things. I've done things above and beyond. So, and that's why I've got respect across the movement. You might hear gobshites like Jupiter say, oh, everyone thinks, no they don't. No they don't. I can count on one hand, and I wouldn't need all the fingers of the people that Jupiter actually knows on the right. You even heard her coming out with that shit the other day or whatever on Ghost panel. Oh, I know Roy in real life. No you don't. It's literally been admitted that he fucking never even met you. So stop lying. The people that chat shit are never going to be of help to anybody. The people that flip-flop from one thing to the other are never going to be of help to anybody. I heard Babs on there crying about, oh, fucking Team Tommy is sending me emails begging for money and asking me why I've not donated recently and all this shit or whatever. It wasn't that long ago she was on Ghost crying to Clown whatever his fucking name is, about, oh, Tommy thinks I've got a fucking money tree in my garden, blah blah blah. Babs, do you think that Ghost is the Tommy complaints department or something? Would you have not been better to maybe discuss that with Jupiter or Wendy or anybody else which claims, and I'm not saying the people that do claim are, because there's a lot of infiltration going on. Would you have not thought it'd be better to discuss it over there maybe? So yeah, these flip-flop fucking weird cunts that just jump around from one thing to another, you have no use to no one. I've stuck to every single thing I've said from day one because I got my facts in order from day one, and I've stuck to my guns, I've stuck to my fucking whatever. I've had multiple dealings with the police, this, that and the other, prevent the fucking lot, and I've fucking absolutely ate them and shit them out. Simple as that. And I've done that fucking for years or whatever, and have I ever had any bother? No. Have I ever given a fuck? No. Have I stuck to every single thing that I've said? Yeah, I have. And I will continue to, because it's the fucking truth. people can like it, hate it. I don't give a fuck. I am like Marmite. You will either fucking like it or you'll hate it. I couldn't give a fuck either way.
Talk about religion, right? I must talk about religion. I've
Right.
always tried to shy away from that religion, right? To try to be normal,
Yeah.
try to integrate with the normal community, talk about issues that we face.
No. You haven't done that at all, Ghost. You've just chose not to defend something that you know, or maybe you don't. I'll say that you might just be stupid and invest all this, you know, I'll put a book over my family or whatever, even though I've not bothered reading it or understanding it or whatever. But the fact that you've actually tried to shit on the people which have been waking it up, do you know what I mean? It is what it is. Now, even that with Jupiter, you two absolutely hate each other. Not dislike each other, not don't like each other's standpoint on whether it be political or ideological or whatever. You two actually hate each other. You use energy from your body and your mind and your soul to hate each other. That to me is fucking beyond mad. Now, from what I understand, Jupiter just agreed with some of what Tommy Robinson said. She has shit all over Tommy. She's called him a grifter, this, that and the other. She is technically on your side. Because according to you, Ghost, you agree with some things that Jupiter said. Not Jupiter, you agree with some things that Tommy said. Yeah? Now, to both of you, I'm an extremist. You've literally both claimed that I'm the extremist. Now, all I've done is stick to the truth, the facts and the evidence. I think that's why you two hate each other so much, because you're so alike. You're literally both very similar in so many ways, it is unreal. I think I actually made a video about 6 months ago or whatever, pointing it out. I don't know if it even made it public or not. If I can find it, I'll search it out and I'll put it out and you can have a little ponder on that, I guess.
Face, yes, as Muslims, but I didn't want to talk about Islam, right? I've never wanted to talk about the religion. I wanted to talk about the effects that Islamophobia and racism has on Muslim and my community.
Huh?
Yeah, doing another thriller, only caring about your own community. You've not give a fuck while 1 million children have been raped. You not give a fuck about all the terrorist events, have you? But you're asked when, the Muslim community might get a bit of backlash. People like Becca might get a funny look in the street because it looks like she's walking down the street in a fucking Nazi uniform. Same shit. Same fucking shit.
Never
Which is a real
talk
thing.
about
Which is a
religion.
real thing.
Guys,
Yeah,
here's the thing,
100%.
yeah.
I
Even
don't
back in the
talk-
day,
Bro, go on.
sorry, Philip, but even back in the day, yeah, when we used to go on G Block and they used to have this really negative view of Islam, I never used to blame them because it's the government and the Dawa guys.
Yeah, it's mad how they did a U-turn, isn't it? We already know that Veli got run off by Muslims the first time. But has it happened again? And that's why he's done the fucking super hard handbrake left or whatever. I don't know. It's very possible though, isn't it?
That are pushing that negative version of Islam, right?
Yeah.
They're even trying to convert like Sufi
Negative version. What other fucking versions are there of Islam, realistically?
Muslims and Hanafi Muslims into this Hanbali Wahhabi doctrine, right? And they're getting, the government is basically funding them, supporting them, and creating stars out of people like Ali Dawah to push this narrative. Where Ali Dawah standing in the street telling Tommy Robinson that he'll let his 9-year-old daughter get married. That's the biggest blow to Islam in over a
Yeah, but the question is it Islamic? Is it Islamically justified to do that and actually pushed and promoted?
1,000 years. So I can't really 100% blame these people. But
While we're on the discussion of Veli, I'm not being funny, but I've said to you all, Veli put a fucking thing out, a documentary into the Islamic communities in Manchester, and 9 places was fucking shown and exposed as marrying dirty old men dirty old Muslim men to fucking Muslim children. 9 places in Manchester alone. So how far do you actually think this goes? But you don't think I've got a point? No. You fucking delusional bunch of fucking freaks.
But for being brainwashed by the authorities and the
Yeah,
elites and
where people like me have said that any child anywhere in the world, that's not even England, that's married on.
Realistically, Ghost, who do you actually think gives a fuck what you've said on some tiny little channel that doesn't even attract Muslims, and the only ones it does are the ones that are giving you death threats? Who do you actually think that would affect? Your opinion only means something to you. It means nothing to the people, which can affect everybody's situation, everybody's life when they're fucking committing acts of terrorism or fucking whatever. Do you know what I mean?
That's married under the age of 16 or 18 is wrong. But they'll
Exactly.
never take
That's what
title
I'm
back.
coming to, guys.
They'll
So that's why
never
people like
take
me and
title
you,
back, right?
that's why
But they'll
moderate
believe,
people,
they'll
God, let me
believe
finish
some,
it.
they'll believe some twat saying that he'll marry a 7-year-old or 9-year-old, right?
Exactly.
They
That's
take
what I'm
that
saying.
as
People like
gospel,
me and
right?
you,
But they'll
and
never.
people,
Yeah, but if Muhammad did it, if he actually did, and I'm right, and all the Islamic scholars, which are much more educated than fucking Becca ever has been or probably will be, yeah? If we're right and Becca's wrong and you're wrong and Khan's wrong, and actually Muhammad did actually marry a 6-year-old girl and then consummate it at 9, is that enough for you to make you think, do you know what, I feel a bit itchy in this fucking cult? I feel like I'm a fucking nonce-protecting fucking weirdo every time I try and shut people down, which are highlighting what shit went on. But you'll just come out, oh, what about Prince Andrew? What about this? What about that? Pure whataboutism. It's just, to me, it's either you do know and you're just doing your tequila bullshit, or you're just fucking delusional and dumb. I don't actually know which is worse.
you,
But they'll
and
never.
people who,
They'll never.
So if someone, let's just say that one of you was doing this video for me, blah blah blah, whatever, what I would do is get all my facts in order and critique what I'd said word for word and prove me wrong on everything. Now, if you can't do that, again, people will draw their own conclusions, and for good reason.
Agree to what I think.
But
Right?
I'd give one concession there when it comes down to, like, you know, historically you've had arranged marriages from, like, you know, young, so, you know, when they
Yeah,
arrange it from a young
yeah.
age, and then they basically, even if they get married as like teenagers, yeah, they still wouldn't consummate until later on in life, right? Until they were like,
that's
you know,
different. That's
18,
different, Killer.
you know what I mean, or
That's
something like
different
that,
because
yeah.
the woman has got a choice to pull out
Yeah.
of the marriage.
If that would be people's actual way of doing things, from legal ages and whatnot, nobody would have a problem. The fact that you've got dirty old men marrying fucking 6-year-olds and having sex with them at 9, it's one of them. Can you consensually have sex with a 9-year-old? Or would you be raping her? Now, we all know the answer, but yet we'll have some people which just won't be able to answer the question. Do you know what I mean? It's a very fucking simple question and there's only one fucking right answer. Do you know what I mean? But some people will struggle. Now, if there is anyone on the comments and you want to put a fucking answer, maybe do that or whatever. It's up to yourselves, isn't it? Now, for those that can't answer the question because they know there's going to be a portion of Muslims out of that will go, you can't say that, you can't do this because that makes Muhammad a paedophile. Well, you've now literally seen the predicament, and the predicament isn't something that I'm in. The predicament is for every single Muslim, which is willingly or unwillingly part of that cult. Now, people can like it, lump it, it's not going to bother me. I'd love for more people. There's absolutely fucking loads of people coming away from Muslims. I was part of a group that was ex-Muslims or whatever. What's it called now? I don't even think it's around no more, because people get threats, people get whatever. People end up having to move from Bradford under armed assistance or whatever to be able to fucking leave a religion. You have to leave the area, you know what I mean? You'll have your legs broke, this, that and the other, your hands broke, your fucking arms broke, you name it, it will go on, and people will quite happily kill each other for coming away from a fucking ideology. Now, tell me that's not a gang. Tell me that's not a gang. Yeah? Like I say, Marmite, like it, lump it, not my concern.
To
Yeah,
pull
let
out
him
of
finish.
the marriage if
Let
you
him
don't
finish.
But
fancy the guy.
personally,
let him
I would give
finish,
that
right?
concession when it come down to, you know, when you just said there, you know, like if you were married young,
Look at Trillo, bumbling and stumbling. He don't want to offend anyone. Oh, he's running out of communities to fucking go to. How embarrassing.
right? But again, that would be my concession there. Do you know what I mean? It's like, okay,
You've
yeah,
said
but-
a lot stronger, haven't you, Trillo? And we're going to go over all these things or whatever. It'd be nice to have an open, honest discussion. The key component to that would be honesty. I'm not sure you've got it in you, to be honest. Because if you're honest, you're going to lose people around you, aren't you? And to people like you, it really matters, doesn't it, that you're accepted into these dead little going nowhere channels. Now, to me, that is mental. I'd rather stand on my principles, and whoever likes me, whoever hates me, well, they hate me, don't they? It's neither here nor there.
do you know what I mean? It's like, okay,
Yeah,
they
but-
could be married young, but they wouldn't consummate until when they were both of age and so on. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
Yeah.
the way I see it, I don't give concession to anything, because I'm not going to go back in time and
Yeah.
judge it based on.
oh yeah, I think nowadays even that kind of
Why not, Ghost? Because that book can't be changed in any way, shape or form. From the day it was wrote and put together to where we are right now, it has to stay the same. It has to stay consistent. It can't change. And whatever was good then has got to be good now. So if Muhammad did have sex with a fucking 9-year-old that he married at 6, then a true Muslim is going to look at that and think, well, you know, I was told to emulate Muhammad as much as I can do, so the right thing to do would be to formulate a grooming gang and rape as many of these fucking kafirs as possible, innit? Yeah? So can we be surprised if people can read this so-called perfect book but then come out with their different fucking variations of it, how they fucking interpret each verse or whatever? It's a bit of a fuck up, innit, when you've got one that reads something and thinks, oh yeah, everything's nice and jolly and nice, and we all get on and we're one big happy family or whatever, you know, we're all equal. And then you've got another person from the same ideology who'll read it and decide that he's going to go and blow people up at a fucking mosque, at a fucking music event, yeah? How can that be perfect? How's that a perfect book? The book of all time, this, that and the other. Do you know what I mean? Now, again, I'm just being logical. If you can actually critique what I'm saying logically, then there might be a discussion to be had or whatever. But other than that, there's no point me jumping on your fucking channel, because you'll just dry up the moment I say certain things. We've seen it before. Again, do you know what I mean? There's videos that people have asked to be put out, conversations where I will always give credit where Ghost has said that he's condemned certain things, this, that and the other. I mean, I've not seen any evidence other than him saying it, and people will say, oh, it's just to kill. Yeah, it could well be. Ghost has said that, you know, he's made a few claims that he has condemned this, that and the other, blah, blah, blah. The middle ground was people like Tony Blair are war criminals and should be held to account, this, that and the other. So I've been aware what we can't talk about because ghost feelings or whatever overtake and he's emotional, little wreck sometimes and whatever. I'm not dissing, I'm just saying it as I fucking see it or whatever. I can put my emotions aside to anything and have a fucking open, honest discussion. And if I'm wrong on something, or I see something, you explain something to me, and it made me think differently or whatever, yeah, I'll consider that and I'll think about it, I'll ponder on it, and then I may, at some point, think, do you know what, I've changed my opinion slightly on this or that or that. For some people, they can't even allow that door to be open to just be able to consider things, to even hear opposing positions or whatever. Now, to me, again, that is a sign of mental illness. Something which would be a very good thing to harvest on from a cult-like position. If you know what I mean? Are we looking at quality or are we looking at quantity? Now, Islam, I'm not being funny, but when you're recruiting from prisons and fucking giving them beatings, this, that and the other, unless they convert and this, that, you know what I mean, all this fucked up shit that goes on and whatever, then you're not really looking for quality, are you? And again, you're sort of proving my thing that it's a gang. Why wouldn't we want criminals? Why wouldn't we want murderers and rapists in our gang or whatever, when we've got a war manual which says we can do all this fucked up shit? Now, like I said to Becca the other night, I think it was Luke that said it or whatever, the topic was something along the lines of why people do join Islam or whatever, and Luke said the main thing he thinks women would join Islam for is because they've met a bloke and he's a Muslim and they want him to convert. And that, I think that's a good I think that's pretty true, to be fair. I don't think there's many that have joined other than that. Maybe there might be a few, there might be, I don't know, but I imagine the majority is that situation. Now, I said when you have men converting to Islam, I see it as a bit nonsense, because realistically, or just it could even be a bit lower down the scale. There could just be, you know, chauvinistic type people or whatever that, you know, fucking think they can talk to women, degrade them, this, that and the other, just for the fuck of it, you know, even when they're like with them as in a partnership, a couple, man, wife, whatever. You've seen it loads. I mean, fucking BNP Morris, that's got to be a good example or whatever. And then you can move it to Ali Dawah at the other end of the scale, where he thinks that little of his fucking daughter, he's quite happy to let her marry a fucking dirty old man or whatever. Not being funny, but what 50-odd-year-old man would marry a child? And we're not talking like Khan and fucking Triller trying to remix and whatever. Oh, you know, teenager, rah, rah, rah. No, what if they're 6? What if they're 9? Being generous, what if they're 9? Is that okay? Do you not think that the man is a dirty paedophile? No? If the answer to that's no, oh man, we shouldn't have discussions. And if you think that's okay, you shouldn't be in this country, full stop. You should be wherever that shit is acceptable, because in this country we would see that as a paedophile, and in most places of the country you'd have all sorts of shit. You'd have people drag you out your house and burn your house and burn your car and all sorts of shit just because you're some creepy cunt or whatever.
Even that kind of thing shouldn't happen, I think, nowadays. But in the past,
right, I'm not sure how long I can be asked doing this or whatever. I may well do a part 3. I wouldn't be doing a part 2, but I pressed the fucking wrong button on part 1 or whatever. yeah, I might do a part 3. Right, hope everyone's good, look after each other, stay safe, and just remember, I'm not being a cunt for the point of being a cunt. Do you know what I mean? I'm just literally trying to wake people up. If you don't want to wake up and you want to carry on with your delusions, I can still be civil with you. You don't have to be a wanker on chats or whatever. You just see things differently. It is that simple. There's enough people awake. For all the work that people have put in, waking people up, there's enough people awake that we can have these, you know, it's one of them. Everyone teaches one. Before you know it, the whole fucking country's going to be awake. The whole fucking world's going to be awake. I would, if I was in your position, want it cleaned up. Simple as that. Now, you could do that very easily. You could get rid of all the extremists, call out the bad apples, get rid of them, make them feel that they're not welcome here, and get rid of them. And you should be doing that internally. You shouldn't be leaving it to people like Tommy Robinson. People like yourselves actually create the void for people like Tommy Robinson to fucking fill. So it's how you think about it, isn't it? If I was in your position, I would clean up the situation, and anyone that wants the BBC version of Islam where you're all equal and you don't commit acts of terrorism and you don't rape children and this, that and the other, then there should be enough of his, considering it's made out, it's the majority of people that are Muslims that are decent people, law-abiding citizens, blah blah blah. If it's only a minority, let's say it's 1%, which has been made out or whatever, if it's 1%, then it should be easier for 99% to get rid of all them bad apples out the country, and then maybe we can calm things down a little bit, because I think if it carries on in this current climate the way it's going on, I think there's going to be massive problems. And that's what Lubna pointed out. Everyone was, oh, she's this, she's that, she's the other, she hope not hate, she's a plan, government plan, blah blah blah, shill, fucking traitor, this, that and the other. All she's trying to do is clean up the situation, because she can see that the problems that come down the line are going to belong to her children and their children, the future generations. And that's the way you all need to think about it. Now, again, do you know what I mean? Everyone's going to see things different. Some people are going to stick to the guns and think, well, no, I've done this for so long, I'm just going to carry on doing the same dumb shit and expecting a different result. That's fine. That's fine. Again, I can be civil with you, it's not a problem. But yeah, that's my viewpoint, and I think, to be honest, I'm right, and I think, to be honest, nobody will critique what I'm saying and prove me to be wrong on any level, but I'm willing to listen. Okay, right, enjoy, look after each other, stay safe, and I'll catch you on the next one.